What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Precise Thoughts back again with another video. Today is Wednesday. I like to call it Wednesday, W-I-N-S, Wednesday, because we're going to get them wins. You feel me? And today, I wanted to do a little something different. I want to talk about, I wanted to tell a story. Story time with your boy Precise Thoughts, man. So I'm going to tell a story about when I was super young. And I was a kid, and we lived in Stockton, California. We lived on the north side. Shout out to the north side. Okay, anyway. So, when I was a kid, I used to like to run a lot. I used to run super fast, you know. And come on, this was the 80s. So I'm running. I just run around the block, run around the neighborhood super fast. So fast that they used to call me Carl Lewis, right? Carl Lewis is a famous Olympian track star, okay? Been doing it from the late 70s through the 90s, okay? From like 79 to the mid 90s, he was winning medals and, you know, competing in the Olympics or whatnot. They would call me Carl Lewis on the block. So, so, you know, and I also like to hide and prank people a lot when I was a kid, right? You know, play the little game kids often play. Where's so-and-so at? And you'd be hiding in the closet or something or whatever, right? So I used to do that. So one day it got into my mind that I wanted to prank my parents, okay? So here's what I decided to do. And mind you, this was the 80s. This was back when they used to make these huge cars, like long, super long cars with big old insides and big trunks, right? So I had the bright idea to go and hide in the trunk of the car, okay? So I go outside and I unlock the car and I get in the trunk of the car, okay? I leave the keys. I don't remember how I did all that. I might have put the key back in the house. I don't remember. It's too long ago. But anyway, somehow somehow I didn't have the keys with me. I unlocked it. I was smart enough to do that. And I guess I planned this all out, right? So I'm in the trunk. And I'm like, okay, they gonna think I just ran around the block and went to or went outside playing or something, right? So my mom comes outside. DJ, that's my nickname, right? And I'm laughing hysterically. I'm just like, they don't know where I'm at. I'm in the trunk, yo. Like, barely can breathe, but I'm laughing hysterically, right? So my mom's outside, DJ, and I'm like, okay, I know she thinks that I'm just playing with my friends or whatever, right? So I'm just, it's so crazy to me. I'm just laughing. It's so funny, right? So, and then eventually my mom starts getting very concerned. She goes in the house and gets my dad. My dad comes out. Now they're both hollering, DJ, where could he be? Like, did he just run? Is he at his friend's house? Is he at Ronald's house? Is he at, Hyleen and Ann's? Those were my two Asian neighbors. Excuse me, that was my Asian neighbors that I used to play with when I was young. And, it was a couple people, Ben and Angel and this Louisa. And I remember all my friends when I was a super young kid, right? On the block, right? So as they seeing people walk down, the other kids, hey, have you seen DJ? Have you seen DJ? No, I haven't seen DJ, right? They start panicking and it's hysterical. I'm cracking up, right? So they finally like, well, we need to go around and see if anybody, seen him. And we need to go around and find out where he might be because we hope nobody kidnapped him. And that's just the funniest thing to me. I grew up kind of like an only child. I had two older brothers that my dad did help raise for a while. They eventually left when they got a little bit older. So most of the time I remember being very young I was like an only child most of the time. Okay, so I was kind of sheltered, you know what I mean? So I didn't really know the extent of what I was doing, like the panic I was causing and all that, because I wasn't really exposed to it. I was just always to myself, you know what I mean? In my room playing video games, stuff like that. So, or like everybody else I played with on the block was different cultures, like I didn't really know, like, you don't do that in a black family, like you don't play games like that. So anyway, they finally get the idea to get in the car, and so they get in the car and they're like, well, where we gonna go? They start driving around the block. I'm in the trunk dying, cracking up laughing, right? So they going by people's houses that I know, friends, everything. I'm laughing. Have you seen DJ? Describing me to some people that I didn't even know me, like complete strangers or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, I haven't seen no little kid, no little boy. You know what I mean? They just going all around asking everybody, right? So this went on for hours. Could you imagine being a kid in the trunk for hours, dying, laughing at your parents, searching for you? Mind you, this is a black family. They are hysterical. They're calling everybody, okay? They saving the police for the last resort, okay? So finally, they go to these little girls' house, all this and that. So that was like the last resort when they got back in the car and it was like, we don't know what to do. We need to call the police or whatever. And that's when I started making a racket in the back of the car because I was listening to everything they were saying the whole time. I was like, nah, because as a kid, like I know it's 2020, I know it's 2020 now, but even back then in the 80s, when you just something innate in you that knew the police, you was terrified. So when I heard them say the police, I was terrified. I was like, I need to make a racket. I need to let them know, because I'm thinking the police gonna come and get me. The police gonna lock me up for playing this treacherous prank on my parents. So once they said they was gonna call the police, really they were just gonna have them file a missing report and search for me or whatever. But I'm thinking possibly they was gonna come get me and lock me up as a young black brother. You know what I mean? Young wise prankster. So that was just crazy. Once I heard that, I started making, Mom, I'm in the trunk, I'm out here. I'm terrified at this point. They opened the trunk up. I thought I was gonna get the worst whooping in my entire life, okay? But they just crying, hug me, don't ever do that again, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I was terrified. I'm like, did you call the police? Are the police gonna come and get me? And then, you know what I mean? I know that they wanted to be like, yeah, the police gonna come lock you up if you ever do that. Like, you know what I mean? And it's funny how, like, if you think about that, it's kind of how we instill fear. I don't know where I got that from, to feel like I'm afraid of the police at a young age. Never had no encounter with them yet at all. You know what I mean? Like my parents was never into nothing where the police was around or anything like that. I never had no encounter with them other than like them actually coming to the neighborhood and doing like events with the kids. They actually used to do community stuff back then because it was bad. It was like gang time, especially on the north side where I lived at. It was in the hood. They had shootouts and stuff like that, which is another reason why they were so concerned, because you had drug dealers and everything. They would kidnap kids and stuff back then. All kind of crazy stuff was going on in North Stockton. Well, every part of Stockton, from every hood, like south, north, east, whatever. So, we was on the north where they were doing shootouts. And in fact, there was like a lot of school shootings and crazy things like that out there. Where, like I think Michael Jackson came to perform out there in Stockton one time. There was a man who, he had a gun. He was shooting people from the freeway. I mean, like he was in the bushes, but he was just shooting at random cars. One time he was killing people. It was just a lot of crazy stuff going on in Stockton. I remember super duper dope dealers getting murdered. Like you would hear all these connections from like different states and drug trafficking, human trafficking. Like this back in the 80s. You know how you hear about human trafficking now? It's been going on for a long, long time. But yeah, that was story time. So this is gonna be a new segment of the show. Quarantine stories. You know what I mean? Your boy Precise Thoughts. If y'all got some crazy stories, share with me in the comments, man. Or if you got a YouTube channel that you share stories on or information or whatever, hit me up, man. I like to support everybody. Subscribe to my channel. I need all the subscribers I can get. Help me out. We're on the road to 1K. We hyping it up, we amping it up, we doing our thing, we making videos every day. It's not easy to put this content out every single day, but we do it. We stay motivated, we keep grinding, and I'm out. Y'all be good.